So basically, for those who are listening, we did the Ball State draft, back a few months ago. Where Colin and I we drafted a handful of different things. So we figured with Rob's expertise and his decades now fandom, we wanted to get his input. We're going to be drafting the best Ball State games.
Are,
So,
are we doing best or favorites?
what do you
Best
guys want to do?
wins. Best
Or,
win.
or favorite win. Favorite win is fine too. It doesn't have to be best. It can be favorite's fine. Yeah, favorite wins. And so how it's going to work is Rob is going to pick first, and then Colin and myself. So Rob's going to pick, and then whatever he takes, that's off the board. So there'll be 9 picks in total. It'll be snake draft. So it'll go Rob, Colin, me, and then me, Colin, and Rob, and then we'll do that till we get to 9 picks. So let me get something to write down here. We'll go 1 through 9. And then when Colin and I are drafting Rob, I want you to open stuff still.
All right.
All right, Rob. You're up first.
My first pick, I have to go with, because I am I don't want to say suffer. Yeah, I'm a long-suffering Ball State fan. I have
Certainly
a lot of success over the years. So the MAC championship game for me was, I'm not gonna lie, I cried. There was time, COVID, there wasn't a lot going on, and it was a way to sit down and, escape reality and go on that run and win a MAC championship. So for me, that's my number one.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head there because it obviously was amazing to see that they finally were able to win the MAC title, but it was also kind of like a little bit of a gut punch that no one, like, you couldn't be there to watch it. I remember I was watching it in my living room thinking, like, I would do anything to be at this game right now, and just you can't be there. But yeah, so everyone kind of had their own, watch parties at home, and yeah, that was an amazing night.
I was lucky enough that I was able to get a player shared his family tickets with me.
There you go.
So I was able to go out to one game that year, and so that was good.
Okay. All right. Great pick, by the way. Colin, what do you got?
Yeah, Rob, that was a great pick. I had it number 3 on my list. So he went with December 18th, 2020 at Ford Field in Detroit. Our first MAC championship since 1996. We win 38-28. I'm going to go just a few days later, Rob. December 31st, 2020, our Arizona Bowl win, the only bowl win in Ball State history. It was actually against number 22 San Jose State. We really thumped them 31-13. The defense was extremely dominant. I remember watching it on a projector. I had all my Ball State buddies over. This flag in the background was wrapped around my buddy's neck like a cape. We were yelling, we were jumping, we were screaming. That was the greatest Ball State win of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Another just banger of a win. It was never even in doubt. We were just a better team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
From the jump, it was over. And I think we talked to Drew Plitt back in December, and I think that was kind of one of the questions we asked him. We're like, how awesome was that game? Just knowing that, like, it was never really a doubt, and you guys knew you were going to win. He was like, yeah, it was pretty sweet.
The previous game, the championship game, it was such a nerve-wracking, experience. So that bowl game, just going out there and taking care of them the way we did, it was special.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that win, Rob, we ended the season ranked, and we got more money for the first college football 25 because we had one season in the last 10 years that we ended the season ranked.
Hey, there you go. I know you're a big NCAA football guy,
Definitely.
so there you go.
All right. So in the top 3, you guys actually had 2 and 3 for me. And so I'm happy that Rob prefaced this beforehand by saying your favorite win, not necessarily the best, because there's probably some better ones I can pick here, but I'm going to take my favorite Ball State football game of all time. It was the first game my freshman year in 2011, the win at Lucas Oil Stadium against Indiana. Pete Limbo's first game Gones was Kevin Wilson was at Indiana. So we have a similar situation to that Purdue game starting off this year. New coach for us, new coach for Purdue. Who knows how that's going to go?
That was
But go ahead.
field goal at the end game, right?
That was the next year.
Okay.
That was the next year. This one we the next year game we were blowing them out and then we let them back in. This one it was kind of close and we kind of started to pull away a little bit at the end, but it was technically a Ball State home game. But obviously there was a lot more Indiana fans there.
Yeah.
They were all chirping. Well, not chirping. They were all talking trash before the game. And so we sent them packing, and I got to chant some losers down the streets in Indianapolis. This first game of my college career. As a fan, that's when you still got physical tickets. So we didn't necessarily camp out, but the first day they went on sale, we went and got the tickets. It was awesome.
I'd rather call you than IU, right?
That's right. All right, so I will go ahead.
Before round 2, we had an unboxing.
Oh yeah, let's see it. Let's see the unboxing. That's right.
All right, so we have I'm a Ball State fan.
Oh, there we go.
So I got 2 of these, John. So or Colin addresses. I'll send you guys.
All right, perfect.
Right on.
I love that.
I'm still waiting for John to send me the piece
I have
of
some
the
turf. One of the pieces of turf you sent me.
Want some turf? I'll get you your own. I've got.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Yeah.
Well, it's much harder to deal with than
you'd think. So everyone listening, Rob, when they recently switched out the turf at Schumann Stadium, and I think a handful of people online were like trying to figure out how to way to get some. And I had reached out to Ball State and they said, basically once this company takes it out, it's theirs. We have nothing to do with it anymore. So they actually gave me their phone number and I called them and they're like, well, you can just come and take it if you want. And so I obviously live in Florida. So couldn't get up there because they're like, well, tomorrow it's getting thrown away. And so I reached out to Rob and I was like, hey, I don't know if you want to get any of this turf, but here's what they told me. If you call this guy, I think you can just go take as much as you want. And he was like, all right, well, I'll go do that right now, basically. And
yeah, so I looked, I worked from home a lot, but I was actually at work that day. So I'm like, I got to go. I got more important things to do than be working. So I roll up out there and they go, you got to go talk to this guy. So I found him. He goes, you can have as much as you want. He goes, but you be warned, it's hard to get through. So I'm out there with this little box cutter about this big. And I'm trying to cut this turf and it sucks and it's heavy and wet. And it was a nightmare, but we got some.
We got it. There we go. And funny enough, Rob, it took him, I don't know, a little bit to ship it to me. And I reached out to him. I was just been like, hey, just seeing if you're still shipping it. And he was like, yes, it's wet. So I got to let it dry and it smells like crap. And I was like, I never had put 2 and 2 together that would smell so bad. And it makes perfect sense. So that's exactly.
It stinks, doesn't it?
It stinks.
It's terrible.
So it makes perfect sense. But, okay. I'm gonna jump in here with my next pick. So I talked about the Indiana game, and obviously there's a couple other ones of those that could be taken. But I'm gonna go with another one of a game that happened when I was there, and that is in 2013 when we beat Virginia. It's the only game we've ever won against an ACC opponent. We've only beaten, now with how people have reclassified in their conferences, we only have 2 wins over Power 5 schools within Indiana and Virginia now. So
I call that the Jordan Williams game.
I was about to say Jordan Williams had a great game. Juwan had a good game. And funny enough, I worked at TIS at the time.
Okay.
And so when you worked at TIS, you had to work 1 weekend a month, basically. And so when I was working there, that was the weekend that I was working. Oh, yeah, Rob's going to open another one here while I tell us. And so I was working at TIS. And they didn't have the game on the radio. And, there's not many people coming in on that Saturday, it wasn't super busy. So we're just basically standing there and I had to I had to like argue with our bosses to be like, can you please put the Ball State game on the radio while we're basically on Ball State's campus in a Ball State bookstore? So yeah, we almost missed listening to one of the biggest wins, I would say, in program history because TIS didn't just want to put it on the radio.
Hey, I have a story similar. Ball State, Nebraska, right?
Yeah,
You remember that game? Maybe not.
I do. Yeah.
So all we had was the radio. I mean, there's no other coverage. There was no ESPN News or web, whatever, watch ESPN. And on the radio, we had went up. And so we're like, we got to find someplace showing this game. And we went to 2 or 3 places and nothing. Nobody would be, you had to have satellite and the right satellite, to watch this game. So finally I called Damon's and I was like, hey, can you guys get this game on? And they're like, oh, is Ball State playing today? I'm like, we're about to be Nebraska. Now we did.
Right.
We did manage to get out there for the fourth quarter and they did turn it on for us. So even though Damon's is gone,
Shout out Damon's.
Shout out Damon's.
All right, Colin, what you got for me?
Yeah, John, that was a good pick. I had the October 5th, 2013 Ball State, Virginia. Like Ball State away at Virginia, 48-27 on the road. Solid win. I'm going to actually go a little earlier, November 25th, 2008, number 15 Ball State versus Western Michigan.
Great pick.
Ball State wins 45-22 in front of 23,861 fans, also being shown on ESPN2 to end up going undefeated in the regular season with Nate Davis at the helm. After this game would end up ranked at number 12, our highest ranking all time.
Great game, great pick. I was there. Atmosphere was electric. I mean, and that goes to show if you have a competitive, solid team in Muncie, people will show. I mean, I can still hear Poison playing at the end of the game in my mind. It was such a great game.
Great pick.
Thank you.
All right. Rob, did you open anything else?
It's not completely open. It's good.
Okay. All right. You got 2 picks in a row here. So you give me those picks and then you get opening.
Get twice, huh? Okay. I'm going off the board here, but I have a reason. Ball State Navy 2008.
Good choice. I had that as on this list as well.
I think that game. Whitlock had picked us to go undefeated that year, and everybody kind of shrugged him off. But I think that was the game that let people know maybe we would. And it kind of introduced Dante Love to the world. After that game where you started hearing whispers of Dante for Heisman, and, we all know how that ended, unfortunately. But it was kind of led us to that first dip into national coverage.
Yep.
And that was probably the last flyover Muncie ever had.
Oh, okay.
So
that's a good tidbit there.
And now I'm backing her up.
Yep, you're back on it here.
Let's go same year. I know I'm leaving something out, but same year IU.
Okay, yep.
2008?
Yeah.
Dang.
Just because it was the big brother, little brother thing and the circumstances, losing Dante, all that went into that. and to be able to bounce back and somehow still win that game. It says a lot about the team and the players on that team, their resilience, and Nate and all of that. So I'll back those two up back to back.
Okay. Yeah. First,
Rob,
go ahead.
that was literally my next pick. That was our first Power 5 or Power 4 win of all time.
Yeah. I mean, it was, at that point, then you knew, and IU, they weren't great that year, but it was still for us to win that game was huge.
Mm-hmm.
It was just no one thought we would. We did. We were a better team. No more.
Mm-hmm. All right, Colin, what you got?
Okay, so this might be the oldest pick yet.
Okay.
October 9th, 1993. Now,
All
I wasn't
right.
even born. Toledo. So this is, I'm just going best win, not my favorite win, but this was pretty cool. Toledo versus Ball State. Ball State is down 30-3 with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Ball State scores 28 unanswered points to win 31-30. The quarterback was Mike New, and this was a MAC championship year, so huge win.
You went back for that one.
Good pick. Yeah, I think that game might have ended on a kickoff return for a touchdown. I'm not sure if that was the same one or not.
Huh.
The years all kind of blend together.
Yeah. All right, I have one more pick, and then if anyone's on here that you had written down didn't get said, we'll do an honorable mention after my last pick. So I got like 3 left that weren't picked. I don't want to be too much of a prisoner of my moment, but I think I'm just gonna round it out and go all games from when I was in school. I'm gonna go to the 2012 game against South Florida. That game in Muncie.
I'm gonna pick that. That's a great one. Great
game. Willie Snead, unbelievable catch, put him up late in the game. Eric Patterson, interception to end it off. That at the time was the second program we had ever beaten. That was Power 5. They're in the Big East at the time. And they had just come a long way from the year before. They went down and played at South Florida in 2011 and just absolutely smoked, and then come back and just win that game. It was awesome. I was in the stands. I was over on the student section side. When Willie Snead caught that touchdown, I went down like 10 rows jumping up. And then when Eric Patterson picked him off at the end of the game, I almost basically stormed the field.
When Patterson picked that ball, rest in peace, Patterson.
Yep.
When he picked that ball off, the collective breath of everybody just were like, we got this,
Mm-hmm.
Just to win one like that at home, that was good. And my son just fired in an honorable mention from the sidelines.
Oh, I love it. Let's hear it.
He said, we can't mention, now we're talking wins,
mm-hmm.
but he wanted to mention us almost taking out Michigan.
Before you got on, if funny enough, I said exactly what I said to Colin was, I said I almost put on some games that we didn't win, like Michigan and Nebraska. Those two exact ones I said. But I want to make sure it was just wins. But yeah, I verbatim. So that is an excellent point by Sidelines Junior there. So
Sideline Max, give a big shout out. What's your favorite Ball State moment of all time?
Favorite Ball State moment of all time for football?
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yep.
Or basketball, whatever.
Yeah, just whatever.
Basketball, Taylor Person's buzzer beater to beat.
Give it play-by-play. You got it.
Tie game with Notre Dame at their place. They're like what, 8th, 9th in the country.
Mm-hmm.
We walk in there and Taylor Persons hits like a last-second shot. That was the greatest moment of my life. That was awesome.
Give them the radio call.
No.
Do the radio call.
No.
Everybody wants it. Do the radio call.
Eric.
Yeah, you do.
I'll put the ticket up here for him.
Persons calls off the dogs, gets a screen from Moses. On the shot. He shoots. He scores. Bang. I'm gone. I'm out.
All right.
I
Yeah.
love it. Great.
So there's some sidelines junior.
Perfect. All right, let's see this last one. Oh,
Last
what do we got here?
Got a ball. We got a Mike Lewis
Oh, very nice.
signed basketball. So
That's pretty sweet.
we'll get that. We'll get that mix on top of the other balls.
What happened to Western Michigan?
Right there.
I love it. All right. So that's great picks by everybody. We'll put up a graphic. I'll make a graphic, a blind graphic of everyone's picks, and then we'll put it out on social media and we'll let people vote for it, and we'll see who people are picking as their favorite drafter here. Any honorable mentions that didn't get brought up?
Western Michigan. It's not a win. Or actually, it was a win. The Western Michigan game.
Colin picked Western Michigan.
Go to
Give
the
us
MAC
an
championship.
yeah.
Oh,
Our TV shut off. Remember?
no. Oh, yeah. We're talking about two different Western. He's talking
Okay,
about
okay.
the 2021. That is a great pick as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that game was insane.
So when we had Drew Plitt on, we were asking him about that specifically, and he had a funny story where his cousin or someone was getting married right as that game was going on, and everyone's the feed cut out for everybody. I was actually at the North Carolina Miami Hurricanes game, and I was watching it in the stands, and the feed cut out. And he said, "Yeah, my cousin was waiting to walk down the aisle till the game ended, and the feed cut out." And so they just had to go without knowing what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. That was another one. I told you my kid. I mean,
Yeah, I got ball now.
he probably knows about as much about Ball State as anyone. So
Great pick.
fun to go to games.
Oh yeah, Colin, do you have anything else?
Yeah, my honorable mentions, one that's even older than the Mike New pick, Ball State versus Butler, October 21st, 1967. One of the first games in Schumann Stadium, and our largest margin of victory ever. A win, 65-7.
All right.
Wow. Hey, I learned something. I did
There
not.
we go. That it? You got any other?
No, I got another one. I got another
All
one.
right, let's hear it. Okay, let's
All
hear
right.
it.
So, October 26th, 2024, Ball State versus NIU.
Oh yeah.
25-23 after NIU took down Notre Dame. NIU comes to Schumann Stadium thinking they're too good for the MAC already. And boom, we beat them the same year.
Good pick. I had some NIU